When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to the Titan Gym here at Lorain High School. Tim Elkhorn along with Ryan Kilbane on this Saturday night. Crowd still filing in. It should be a packed house here at Lorain as the 10-0 Titans entertain the Norwalk Truckers at 5-2. Ryan Kilbane, we sat here and we listened to Steve Gray of Norwalk, John Lasitano of Lorain High. Anything that either coach had to say that kind of caught your attention?
Well, I think, Tim, the first thing is, we talked about this before we heard the coaches talk. It is a battle of styles in this game. If Norwalk is to have any chance, they got to get it to the fourth quarter with a chance to win. How do they do that? Couple of things. Slow the pace down. I think they said that probably 3 or 4 times in your interview. They've got to control the pace, minimize possessions, not let Lorain run up and down the floor. It's going to be awfully tough to do that. They also talked about multiple defensive looks as well. So you got to try to throw Lorain off a little bit. As far as Lorain goes, they talked about getting their half-court defense set. You know, this is a team that's 10-0. They can pressure you and want you to turn the ball over. But as the season goes on, it's how well you do in the half court. That'll be something to watch as well. The difference in size is dramatic when you watch both teams warm up. So they're going to have to, Norwalk I'm talking about, is going to have to try to control the boards, slow the game down. If they can do that, they'll give themselves a chance. It's going to be awfully difficult, but they have an opportunity to do that.
I love how Steve Gray said, listen, let's use this as a measuring stick. Yeah. Let's use this as a barometer game.
Yeah, you know what? And he talked about none of the teams in their conference or in D2 are anything like Lorain. So he talked about not looking at the scoreboard, how well the teams compete, how well their team will compete. I think that's something to keep an eye on because going forward, this team and how they will respond to the teams they play in their conference based on what they do tonight against Lorain, I think it's a very valid point. He wanted them to compete. How well will they compete? I think they will compete. Will it be enough? I'm not sure. We'll find out.
All right, we're about to get this one underway. Larry Reardon. We just saw Larry last night over at Clearview. He's our lead official tonight. He's joined by Mark Penna and my fellow South Amerstonian, Steve Iwanek. Yes, we share the 44001 zip code in South Amherst, Ohio. Are the 3 officials working tonight's ball game. Tip controlled by the Titans, and we are underway. Eddie Williamson heads to the forecourt, deals on the right side to Nas Bohannon. Nas Bohannon shovels it right back to Williamson. Out front, Davier Andrews quickly on the left side to Devon Andrews. Devon into the lane, down on the baseline to Bohannon. His jumper short, rebound grabbed by Norwalk's J.C. Jordan. Norwalk going right to left on your radio dial. If you're familiar with the Titan Gym, Norwalk is heading towards the closed end of the gym here in the first half of play. As Lorain ventures left to right, they're heading towards the lobby area, the concession area. On the right wing, jumper up and in by Norwalk's Breck Turner. And the Truckers with the first 2 points of the ball game at the other end. Devon Andrews heads to the hole, and we got a blocking foul called on Norwalk.
Well, when Norwalk scores, whether they score or not, they've got to get back. They hit a jumper there, then it's one passing up the floor, and it's already a foul. Got to get back on defense and find your guy.
Brandon Bliley picked up that foul for the Truckers. Titans with the ball. Williamson, 3-ball. Good!
You know, they hit 8 threes last night, Tim. If they can shoot from the outside, boy, they're tough to beat.
3-2, Williamson's 3-ball. The first points for the Titans, they're up by 1. Norwalk handles the pressure well, though. Out front, Seth Staley with the basketball. Top of the key to Breck Turner. His shot rolls around the rim and in. Breck Turner, a couple of field goals. Norwalk back on top, 4-3.
Well, they weren't even covering him out there. That's twice. They're letting him shoot it, and he's knocked him down twice.
in the lane. Pass whistled right by Davier Andrews. Out of there with it for the Truckers comes Staley, but then he bounced it off the leg of Bliley out of bounds.
And that's what Lorain's pressure will do. They might not steal in the backcourt, but they make you play faster than you want. That's a simple pass up the sideline, fumbled out of bounds.
Norwalk up 4-3. We're just underway here at the Titan Gym. Glad you've dialed in on AM 930 WEOL, maybe online at WEOL.com. Down low, Nosbohannon gives it to a driving Andrews. Put it off the glass and good.
Well, they talked about ball energy. Lorain did. Boy, they passed the ball exceptionally well.
5-4. And now Norwalk with a turnover on the inbounds as they couldn't get it in. And so the ball goes back to Lorain High. Titans by 1, 6:12 to go here in the opening quarter. Devon Andrews left side to Davier Andrews. Davier deep in the corner, throws it out front to Eddie Williamson. Quickly they swing it to the right side. Pass knocked out of bounds by a hustling Brandon Bliley for Norwalk.
It's already 2 turnovers now for Norwalk, and they talked about minimizing possessions. You can't turn the ball over and give it back to Lorain.
Nosbohannon for Lorain, sporting that mask that John Rossitano talked about. Broke his nose last night in the North Olmsted game. Right back out on the floor tonight. Williamson, left wing, drops it in the corner to Nosbohannon. The sophomore heads left to the lane, bounce right side, Davier Andrews. A 3-ball off the rim, no good. A rebound grab by Norwalk's Brandon Bliley. Good box out by Bliley. Here come the Truckers, down by 1, 5-4, Titans up. Out front, Matt Davidson bounces it down on the baseline to Turner. Ball knocked free, but out of there with it comes Davidson. Davidson for the Truckers, hands it off to Staley. Staley double teamed at the base of the center circle. His pass knocked free. Out of there with it, Bohannon heads to the other end, laid it up and in.
Boy, they trapped that right in the middle of the floor, and it's the length of Lorain. It is tough to throw over the top and another turnover.
Yep, J.C. Jordan in the backcourt as he traveled with the basketball.
You can see what Norwalk's trying to do. They'll try to bring the ball out after they break pressure to set it up. Lorain is so long that it doesn't matter where you're at on the floor. They get a simple deflection and a turnover.
Here's Brandon Kofstein now in the game for Norwalk. Alley-oop, and Barry missed the dunk. That ball was up above the rim, and Barry just couldn't handle it. And now at the other end, Norwalk has the pass tipped out of bounds. John Rossitano asking Mark Penna, well, who tipped it? There wasn't a defender there.
Norwalk, Tim, has to get to the ball to the middle of the floor. You keep bringing it up the side. That's where Lorain wants you to go because they use the sideline and the baseline as extra defenders. Got to get the ball to the middle of the floor.
Breck Turner with the ball for Norwalk. Out front to Davidson. Comes around a pick. Now gives it on the weave to Bliley. Bliley at the three-point arc. Ball knocked out of his hands, and he couldn't save it in bounds here on the near side at the Lorain bench. That'll give it back to the Titans.
Great job by Devon Andrews there. Help, stayed down, hands straight up, caused a turnover.
7-4, Lorain High by 3, 4:45 to go here in the first quarter. Tim Elkhorn along with Ryan Kilbane. Now's Bohannon, left of the lane, jumper right there. Now's Bohannon, makes it a 9-4 Lorain lead.
Listen, it looked like the mask is bothering him.
Not at all. Inbound pass goes to Davidson.
Another turnover.
And he traveled with it.
They make you play so fast that you try to tell yourself to settle down, but it's too hard. They make you play too fast.
30-second timeout taken on the floor. We will keep it right here. 4:31 to go, opening quarter. Lorain has jumped out to a 9-4 lead. 6 unanswered points by the Titans after Norwalk had a 4-3 advantage. Hey, we want to let all you folks in Lorain know, if you're listening in Lorain, you'll be able to watch it in Lorain very shortly on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Joe Bach, that's B-O-C-K. Joe loves it when we spell his name, Ryan. Joe Bach manning the camera. Got here 3 minutes before tip, and look how quickly he got it set up and going. He's a master at this.
Most impressive thing I've seen tonight so far here.
Joe Bach does a great job, and of course, not only WLCS TV 20 as far as local access here in Lorain, but they've got a YouTube channel. Some great stuff. Off the timeout, Eddie Williamson throws it down on the baseline to Rashad Berry at the other end to Davier Andrews. Up, no, but he got fouled. Davier will shoot 2.
You know, Lorain moves the ball so well. They pass the ball well. They pass with a purpose. And when they put the ball on the floor, Tim, they're going somewhere with it. Instead of just pounding the ball, they'll dribble drive or dribble it to get their guy an open shot. It is impressive to watch.
Javier Andrews, good free throw shooter at 74%, hits the first, makes it a 10-4 ball game. Rashad Berry takes a seat in the ball game now for Lorain. Kevin Davis, second one up and in for Javier Andrews. And it's now an 11-4 Titan lead.
Yeah, now Lorain's going to play a 1-3-1 kind of three-quarter court, a little bit different than we've seen.
Although Norwalk breaks it, but at the other end, fumbling the ball out of bounds, J.C. Jordan.
They did a nice job breaking it, but again, you're in such a hurry to catch the ball and get it up because of the size that it gets you out of your game. And now Lorain's in a zone, or excuse me, Norwalk's in a zone.
Devon Andrews left of the lane, down the lane, scoop, no. Rebound grab by Norwalk's J.C. Jordan. And Larry Reardon says, I got a whistle down here. Devon Andrews trying to reach in after missing that shot, instead commits the foul for Devon. That is his first, and for Lorain High, their first team foul.
So they'll put Naz Bohannon up on the foul line, three-quarter court. Because of his size, it's tough to throw back across, and they try to keep you on one side of the floor.
Davidson ahead on the left side to Turner. Give it right back to Davidson. Off in the left corner to Turner. Turner heads left of the lane. Short shot in and out and back in again. Well, Breck Turner has all 6 Norwalk points. It's now an 11-6 Titan advantage. In the ball game for Lorain is Shane Smith. So Shane Smith and Kevin Davis both in. Bohannon in the right corner. Out front to Davis. Left side Smith. Smith top of the circle to Davis. Davis swings it on the left wing to Javier Andrews. Javier throws it down low. Pow! The dunk is put up and in by Anthony Smothers.
Again, the ball movement is so impressive. Side to side, in the lane, dribble, drive, and kick. It's impressive.
13-6. Lorain High with a 7-point lead. They had 10 dunks last night at North Homestead. Nice job by Norwalk at the other end. Pass underneath to J.C. Jordan, who lays it up and in.
Kept his head up, found an open man. Nice job. Now Norwalk back in the zone.
13-8. Titan lead is 5 with 2:45 to go here in the opening quarter. Sideline right, Naz Bohannon. Out front, Smith. 3-ball. Good! James Smith, that's his 7th 3-ball of the year. And it's now a 16-8 Titan advantage. Steve Gray said in the pregame interview, if Lorain hits threes, we have no chance.
Well, that's looking like what they're doing is they're packing the lane. They're actually daring them to shoot, and they're knocking them down right now.
Breck Turner for Norwalk out front against Kevin Davis. Turner gives it at the half-court line to Matt Davidson. They feed it on the right side to J.C. Jordan. Left wing to Staley. Staley bounces it down low, got it right back, throws it out front to Jordan. Jordan down in the corner, 3-ball Bliley, short. Bliley gets his own rebound though. Bliley then double team, but throws it out front to Staley. Quickly on the left side to Turner. Turner back out front to Staley. Tell you what, you can see how well coached both of these teams are.
Very well coached. And now you can see what Norwalk's doing. Pass the ball, move the ball, set screens.
Shot up, no good. Offensive rebound, no. Put back up and in by Brandon Bliley. So Bliley makes it a 16-10 ball game. Quickly at the other end, Javier Andrews up, no, but foul.
You know, before the game, Lorain was talking about improving their half-court defense. I don't think they're probably happy as well as they're playing. A couple of times, Norwalk's had open shots. That time they shot a 3 in the corner, no box out, fouled the shot, and then were able to get a layup off of it. That's where they need to improve, and so far it's been their pressure that's turned over Norwalk, not so much their half-court defense.
Javier Andrews misses the first free throw. 6'2" junior, averaging 10 points, 3 assists per ball game. We mentioned earlier, good free throw shooter at 74%. He has one more coming. Line right, good on the second. So Javier now with 3 points in the ball game, 17-10. Titans by 7. Earlier today, by the way, Olmsted Falls beat Maple Heights 70-55. Good win for the Bulldogs. We had Chris Delisio on our Saturday morning wrap-up today. There's a steal by Devon Andrews. Scooped it up. No, but he got fouled.
Well, 2 things right there, Tim. First of all, when you're playing a team that's going to that press you full court like that, can't throw the ball in the corner. You're pinned in right there. Then you compound it by trying to throw the ball back across the lane. That spells disaster for a team as good as Lorain when they press you full court.
And here's Devon, line right, shooting 2. First one is good. 6'5" senior, already committed to Kent State University. averaging 20 points and over 6 rebounds per ball game. He'll be a Golden Flash next year. As a Kent alum, that makes me very happy. Devon Andrews misses the second, 18-10. I think he's going to be a pretty special player in the MAC. In the backcourt, Matt Davidson down the floor to J.C. Jordan. Gets it in the middle to Noah Hicks, who's checked in. Hicks out front to Seth Staley. Staley brings it all the way out near the half-court line. 1:08 to go here in the quarter. There's a pass that's deflected, comes right back to Staley, but then he loses it. Out of there with it, Smothers. Down the floor to Shane Smith. Stops. 3. Good! Actually, that's Jamar Ross who's checked in. Jamar Ross hits the 3 ball from the wing to make it 21-10. Lorain with 3 threes here in the quarter. 45 seconds to go in the period. And down on the baseline, stepping on the end line was J.C. Jordan.
It's been what we've talked about so far. They just speed you up and speed you up. That time it looked like they had a 2-on-1. You get sped up, take the ball out of bounds, another turnover.
See if Lorain tries to kill the remaining 35 seconds of the first quarter. They're up 21-10. Lorain averaging 75.8 points per ball game. Scored 88 last night. They're on that pace again tonight.
You know what? Norwalk almost looks like they're in the zone, but they're not. What they're doing is the guys on the weak side are just filling the lane. Again, we're talking about making Lorain hit jump shots. You have to give something up, and so what they'll do is they're going to crowd the lane right now. Let's see what happens.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Bounce on the right side. They shove it in the corner to Davis. He lost the ball. Out of there with it comes Turner for Norwalk. His pass then stolen, and the scoop, no. Rebound. Andrews fired it home. Will they count the bucket? Yes, they will. Devon Andrews, following up the miss, crushed it home at the buzzer. That ends the first quarter, 23-10. Titans by 13 as we head to the second on the Colson and Colson cage matchup on WEOL and online at WEOL.com.
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
We welcome you back. 23-10. Titans with a 13-point lead as we start the second quarter. Tim Elkhorn along with Ryan Kilbane. On-site engineer Jared Kozar. Danny Parrott racking up those highlights back in the studio. Norwalk with the basketball. Boy, what a huge surge for Lorain to go into that quarter break.
I was going to say, with about a minute and a half left, it was 17-10.
And there's another steal. And they flip it underneath the Nosko hand, and who popped it up and in. Pressure, pressure, pressure by Lorain High. You just can't escape it.
Nope.
Hicks on the right side, driving. Getting his shot blocked was Kofstein. Out of there with it come the Titans. Bohannon in the lane, put it up, and on the rim it in.
Yeah, Norwalk's got to get a timeout. You know, it's funny because Lorain puts all this pressure on you. Then you finally break the pressure, and you go in and you put it up, and there's a 6'5" guy waiting for you under the basket. I mean, it's almost to the point where it's not fair, where they pressure you so much, it almost looks like there's 7 or 8 guys out there.
Full timeout taken by the Truckers as Steve Gray huddles his troops, so we'll sneak in a break. 27-10. Lorain by 17, early second quarter here at the Titan Gym on the Colson and Colson cage matchup.
Listen to me. I have 30 seconds.
What did you know about me?
About being a kid with a disability.
I am a joker.
I am a songwriter.
I am intimate.
I am a girl who likes math and science.
I am Coach B.
Hey, I'm speaking up. And I'm not.
And I am not going to be bullied. Got it?
(27-10). Lorain high by 17. Coming up at the half, our Veteran of the Game presentation brought to you by Lorain County Veteran Services. At the other end for Norwalk, getting his shot blocked was Jordan. Out of there with it, Devon Andrews down the floor to Barry. Put it up, fit it, and he got fouled.
Let's look at Rashad Berry here, Tim. Blocks his shot, runs right down the middle of the floor and finishes. And you know, before the game they talked about Lorain they enjoy playing together and they enjoy getting each other shots. And that is rewarding your big man who defends and runs the floor. Give him the ball back. That's how you play. Indeed, and Rashad Berry at the free throw line, in and out to try to complete the three-point play. But it makes it a 29-10 Titan advantage. And there's another Norwalk turnover. Williamson into the forecourt, behind the back to Bohannon, who laid it up and in. Oh, what a pretty feed by Eddie Williamson. And now Bohannon makes it 31-10. In the backcourt with the basketball, Norwalk sets Staley. Throws it ahead to J.C. Jordan. Jordan into the lane, up and under, and Barry blocked the shot anyway. And then Barry got tied up. Ooh, interesting call there by Larry Reardon.
Yeah, you know what? I think what Norwalk is actually the last couple of times not doing a bad job breaking the pressure. But again, you have a 6'5" guy, either use a ball fake or pull it back out and run some clock and then try to get a better shot.
8 straight points by Lorain to open up the second quarter. They've blown this one wide open. 31-10 Titans. Down on the baseline, Rashad Berry gives it to Devon Andrews. His jumper around the rim and in. Devon Andrews makes it 33-10. 10 straight for the Titans to open up the second quarter. Devon now with 7. In the backcourt, sets Staley for Norwalk. His bounce pass. Saved in by Davier. Got it down the floor to Bohannon. Tried to shovel it to Devon. Comes right back to Bohannon. Out front to Rashad Berry. Rashad Berry down the lane. Up, no, but foul. Oh, what a play by Davier here on the near side to save the ball in. And then again, all the teamwork and the ball movement as Lorain High pushes it down the floor.
Tim, is the most impressive thing. Yeah, are they long? Yes. Are they athletic? Yeah, they're 10-0. We've talked about all that. But the way they defend as a team and the way they play offense as a group, move the basketball, find the open man, play for each other, that is so hard to coach when you have so much talent. It's really a credit to the kids who have to buy in. A lot of times you'll find kids that just won't buy into it, and these guys are sacrificing for each other, and that's why you're 10-0. It should not be understated how incredible it is to watch 5 guys working as a unit on both ends of the floor. It's impressive and a credit to those kids.
Rashad Berry hit the first, he hit the second. Rashad Berry, of course, heading to Ohio State next year to play football. Recruited by Urban Meyer. Special young man. 35-10. The Titans by 15 with 5:35 to go here in quarter number 2. Tim Elkhorn, Ryan Kilbane, left of the lane, shot up and in by Brandon Bliley, and he got fouled on the play. Bliley will look for a three-point play.
Nice job there by J.C. Jordan, who got the ball, and look to the middle of the floor. When you get pressured as a team, you've got to try to get the ball to the middle of the floor. They did a nice job with that time. Really the first time Norwalk's been able to do that.
Foul on Anthony Smothers for Lorain, his first. Free throw up and in by Brandon Bliley. He now has 5, and that is Norwalk's first points here in the second quarter, as Lorain started the period on a 12-zip run. 35-13. Titans up with 5:18 to go in the half. Davier Andrews in between the circles to Eddie Williamson. Williamson at the top of the key. Williamson back on the right side to Davier Andrews. Andrews cross-court pass left wing to Shane Smith. They get it in the lane to Smothers. Hooked it up, dropped it in. Anthony Smothers makes it 37-13 Titans. They keep the pressure on. Inbounds goes to Matt Davidson. Davidson in the backcourt, back to Staley. Staley double team, got it ahead to Bliley. Ahead to Davidson, left wing to Turner. Stops, shoots, hits. Great job by Norwalk there to break that pressure.
Ball never hit the floor. Nice job passing the basketball.
37-15. Devon Andrews comes into the lane, and he got tied up as he went to the hoop. Steve Iwanek with the call, and the possession arrow belongs to Norwalk.
Matt Davidson did a nice job, help side defense, and you don't want to bring the ball down, and that time Devon Andrews brought the ball down, and when he did, you know, Davidson's only 6 foot, was able to get his hand on the ball, try to keep the ball up, and a nice job help side defensively.
Norwalk to inbound in the backcourt, trailing by 22. It has been all Titans. Hemmed in is Davidson, got it behind him, pass deflected, out of there with it Williamson, ball knocked out of his hands, Eddie got it back, ball out front, deflected again, grabbed by Davier Andrews, bounce in the corner, 3 ball, right there by Shane Smith. Well, that was Ross again. Boy, I'm spotting a 1-1 and a 1-0. That was 1-0. 40-15. Lorain by 25. We're halfway through the second quarter of play. Davidson out front for Norwalk, gives it off to Seth Staley. Staley just inside the half-court line against Shane Smith. Staley, right wing, gets it to Jordan. Jordan got it down low, ball missed. Pass deflected though, Turner whipped it down low and fouled as he went up was J.C. Jordan.
Nice job by J.C. Jordan there. Again, use the ball fake. These guys are long and athletic. They want to block shots when you're down there. Show them the ball, get your guy up in the air, get the contact, and go to the foul line.
So at the free throw line, it'll be J.C. Jordan for Norwalk. Again, if you're listening in Lorain tonight and you want to see this one, well, dial it in on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television, as they will have it up and running pretty quick.
You know, Tim, as a coach, one of the things that you want to get across early to your guys is everyone understanding what their role is. It's so important for players to know what is expected of them. Every guy that comes on the floor for Lorain, they all know what their role is, and they play it so well, and it is impressive to watch.
Left side of the forecourt, Shane Smith out front to Davis, right wing to Jamar Ross, down in the corner to Bohannon, quickly back to Ross. Ross top of the key, gave it to Davis, left side to Shane Smith. Back to Davis. They give it to Naz Bohannon, working it around the perimeter. Davis pulls up, shoots, and hits. Kevin Davis with his first 2. Well, he's a play-by-play guy. It is tough to keep up. That ball is moving so quick to Lorain High. Here comes Norwalk, trailing 42-16. Steve Gray said, I'm very impressed with Lorain High during our pregame conversation. His eyes really have to be open now. Boy, Lorain has put on a show. Baseline left. Breck Turner throws it out front. Pass deflected. Stolen by Shane Smith. Right of the lane. Had his shot blocked. And
nice
out of there
job.
with it comes Breck Turner for
Nice
Norwalk.
job by Matt Davidson to get back and defend that.
Turner gives it out front to Seth Staley. 2:40 to go in the half. Again at the half, our veteran of the game presentation, brought to you by Lorain County Veteran Services, as out front, Kevin Davis is called with a foul for Lorain.
You know, Tim, I was talking about the players for Lorain buying into their role. That's really a reflection of the coaching staff. I mean, you've got to make sure the kids buy in, and you've got to set them down at the beginning of the year, and they have to buy in. But the coaches have to set that. It's a great job by the coaches, the coaching staff, and then the players buy into it. And then, lo and behold, you're 10-0.
John Rossitano, Mitch Gillum, the entire staff for Lorain High, doing a fabulous job. Here's Hicks for Norwalk. Ball knocked out of his hands, and then Hicks went back to get it. It was over the half-court line, and they called Noah Hicks for being over and back.
They just get deflections and knock the ball away. It's not simply getting just steals, but the deflections as well. You know, Louisville, for example, we're talking about Rick Pitino, they keep track of how many deflections they get in a game. Lorain is very similar to that as far as they will deflect passes, knock the ball away.
In the right corner, 3 ball. There's another one. My goodness, Shane Smith knocks down that 3 to make it 45-16. And just like last night when Lorain was draining threes, they're here tonight knocking down the 3 ball. And there's Norwalk taking their 3rd timeout of the ball game. It's a 30-second timeout. We will keep it right here as Steve Gray tries to find a way just to stop the bleeding, as Lorain High is up 45-16.
The frustrating part as a coach in this situation is you go in with a game plan. I would think Norwalk's game plan was probably make him shoot the ball from the outside. You got to give up something, right? You got to give up something. And then they go and hit 5 threes in the first set. If they shoot threes like this, you're not going to beat them. and you've got to give up something. So it's not a lack of effort on their part. They're crowding the lane and forcing them to, they're knocking them down.
For Lorain High, they'll have a week in the gym after tonight. They're back in action next Friday night right here at home. They'll be taking on Warrensville in Lake Erie League action. 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter of play, 45-16. Lorain in a rout. Into the forecourt come the Truckers. J.C. Jordan throws it out front to Staley. Got it in the lane to Bliley. Hooked it up. It was partially blocked, and there's another deflection that Ryan talked about. Ball loose at the half-court line. They battle for it, and out of there with it come the Titans. Right side of the forecourt, Davis. In the lane, Bohannon. Ball knocked out of his hands, and it went out of bounds off Nas Bohannon.
But look at Bohannon diving on the floor, gets up, and sprints to the front of the rim. I mean, you're up by 30 points. And here's a guy that's averaging close to 17 points a game, diving, has a broken nose, dives on the floor, gets back up, sprint, and then they find him. Normally they wouldn't throw him the ball. Some of you teams you watch, he'd never get it. That's how you reward your players.
Devon Andrews back in the game for Lorain High. At the other end, little hook shot, too strong by J.C. Jordan. Rebound grab by Devon Andrews. Ahead to Davis. Weaves, now gives it to Bohannon, heads to the hoop. Got his shot partially blocked. Nas got it back, bounce out front to Davis. Davis swings it on the right side to Devon Andrews. Comes around a Rashad Berry pick. Devon into the lane.
Nice
Shoved it to Bohannon, who laid it in. How did he thread the needle on that one?
Keep your head up while you're dribbling. You learned that early.
47-16. What a pass. And there's another deflection. Ball knocked out of bounds by Shane Smith. In the ball game now for Lorain. Eddie Williamson checking back in as Shane Smith will take a seat.
You know, when you move the ball like that, Tim, you want to be out on the floor. You know, Lorain's got 2 or 3 guys that could probably easily take as many shots as they want, but when you move the ball, everyone feels like they're a part of the game.
And there's Devon Andrews with a deflection. Ball knocked out of bounds at the half-court line.
Instead of having 2 guys that do all the scoring and 3 guys that kind of stand around, now all the guys become a threat.
Well, Lorain High with 3 guys averaging in double figures. Devon Andrews at 20, Nas Bohannon 16, Davier Andrews at 10, and Rashad Berry at 9.4. They all get involved. Right side of the forecourt, the jumper is up, around the rim and out for Seth Staley. Rebound grab by Bohannon. Lobs to Davier Andrews. Back to Bohannon, up with the left hand and good. Nas Bohannon makes it 49-16. He's got 14 first half points. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Boy, Steve Gray saying, when can we get to the locker room? Davidson, bounce in the corner to J.C. Jordan. His jumper, too strong. Rebound, Davier Andrews, 20 on the clock, 3 on 2. Davier bounces it right side, ball deflected. Somehow Barry got it and laid it in. 51-16. That's right, 51-16 if you're just dialing in. Lorain in a rout. 4 seconds to go in the half. There's a deflection at the half-court line. Bohannon half-court shot. No.
I thought that was good.
And Devon Andrews almost got away or found a way to tip that one in. Well, the Lorain fans are up on their feet, and why not? The Titans with a 35-point lead at the half. 51-16, Lorain all over Norwalk as we reach the intermission.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
The Warriors to Work program makes it possible for wounded warriors and their families to build new lives together.
When my dad left, I was like this big, but I'm like this big. My dad got a master's degree in human resources.
Thanks to Warriors to Work that my dad has a terrific job.
The Wounded Warrior Project helps him by, giving him another start.
Now that my dad's home, I get a lot more hugs.
I'm really proud of him.
Find out more about Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home, the brave.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Tim Elkhorn along with Ryan Kilbane back in the studios of WEOL. Dance and Danny Perrick spinning the dials. On-site engineer Jared Kozar. And, of course, Joe Bach. That's B-O-C-K. Manning the camera for WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Of course, you'll be able to watch this game in the city of Lorain in short order as Joe will get down to the studio and get it up on WLCS TV 20 so you can watch it. Now, Ryan,
yes,
I noticed you've been doing some texting.
Yes.
You got anyone you want to put a shout out to out there?
Well, my family's at home listening to the game. They're very excited. Hopefully my kids aren't driving my wife nuts. She does enough already. So they're at home. Yeah.
The excitement of Dad being on the radio, that's going to wear off real quick. I'm just trying to get
It probably already has. Probably wearing off 5 minutes into the game.
I speak from experience on that.
Yes.
Yeah, Dad's on the radio.
Yeah,
whatever.
well, shut the computer off. Let's go play PlayStation.
Your thoughts on this Lorain High team?
Well, they're impressive to watch. It's not a one-man team. You know, you see all these teams that are 10-0 have a couple of great players and some role players. This team plays as a unit. They do it in the defensive end of the floor. They play together. But the thing that's most impressive, Tim, is how they share the ball on offense. It is so impressive to watch. They move the basketball. They get each other involved. They pass up good shots for better shots. That is hard to teach in this day and age. It's hard to teach. Coaching staff's done a great job, but the players have bought in. It's impressive.
Lorain with the basketball as we start the second half of play. They go right to left on your radio dial. And Rashad Berry down on the baseline, stepped on the end line. That's according to my fellow South Amherstonian, Steve Iwanek. Steve working tonight's ball game along with Mark Penna and Larry Reardon. Norwalk to inbound. Against full court pressure, they get it into Blandon Bliley. Bliley ahead to Breck Turner. Turner run of the lane against Rashad Berry. Took it right to Rashad and scored.
Nice job.
So Breck Turner makes it 51-18. Back comes Lorain to the other end. Their original 5 on the floor. Devon Andrews dumps it down low to Bohannon. Powered it up, no. Devon with the follow, no. Bohannon with the tip, no. Bohannon with another tip, no. They fight for the rebound. It goes out of bounds, and it went off Naz Bohannon for Lorain High. For Lorain, Davier Andrews, Devon Andrews, Eddie Williamson, Rashad Berry, and Naz Bohannon. For Norwalk, Matt Davidson, Brandon Bliley, Seth Staley, J.C. Jordan, and Breck Turner. There's a steal by Lorain as Devon Andrews got sent to the deck.
You know, Naz Bohannon is my type of player. Here's a guy, breaks his nose, has a mask, does every little bit of dirty work, blocks shots, rebounds, keeps the ball alive, runs the floor. Every good team has a guy like that. Every good team has a guy like that.
And he's only a sophomore. Devon Andrews hooked it up, rolled it in, and he got fouled. Devon Andrews with a chance for a three-point play. So Devon heads to the line. That shot made it 53-18.
Well, he's only a sophomore, and we saw their JV play before this game. I don't think the talent well will be running dry anytime soon. You know what's nice, though, when you're sitting up here, Tim, you credit the officials. When you're up here instead of on the bench, there's not one bad call. It's amazing how that changes.
Oh, you haven't done enough games with me yet.
I haven't argued yet with one official tonight.
No, I have. 54-18. You just didn't hear it.
No.
No, we got 3 good officials working this game.
They are. They're doing a nice job.
Driving and scoring for Norwalk is Brandon Bliley. And Bliley makes it 54-20. Eddie Williamson down low to Berry, off on the right side to Andrews. Devon into the lane, dumped it down low to Naz Bohannon. Ball knocked out of his hands, out of bounds by Staley.
You know, we heard Coach Gray talk before the game about his team competing. They are tonight. I think what you probably told him at halftime is, listen, don't worry about the score. Continue to compete. Let's see if we can win a quarter. And you win a quarter, keep building it up. I mean, they are playing hard. Just, it's awfully tough to play here against this team.
Devon Andrews with a miss. Naz Bohannon with a putback for Lorain High. And Naz makes it 56-20 Titans. I agree. I think he wants to see if his kids just keep battling here in the third and fourth quarters. On the left side, Breck Turner had his shot blocked out of bounds by Devon Andrews.
You know, the other thing too, Tim, when a team pressures you so much, it wears on you mentally. Forget the physical part. It's, oh God, we got to take the ball out again. Oh look, there's 5. Like I said in the first half, it looks like there's 7 or 8 guys out there. and it just wears on you after a while.
Over on the left wing, Brandon Bliley got bumped and fouled by Davier Andrews for Lorain. Davier, our Veteran of the Game Award winner at the half. John Rossitano with some very nice things to say about the 6'2 junior for Lorain High. 6:32 to go, third quarter. It's all Lorain as they look to go to 11-0. Folks, this is a special basketball team. If you haven't come and watched them play, you better do that. In the lane, J.C. Jordan, run of the lane, got his shot blocked by Bohannon. Out of there with it, Barry. Gave it to Williamson, ahead to Devon Andrews, shovels it behind him to Davier. Back to Devon, heads to the hole, up, in, and fouled. Go the Andrews brothers, played a little catch here on the near side, and Devon with a chance for a three-point play.
He did a nice job. He squared up, got a guy in the air, nice ball fake, went in there, went up strong, took the contact and finished it, but his fundamentals are really, really good. I mean, really, really good for a player like that. Handles the ball well.
Devon line left, looking to complete the three-point play. He does, his second three-point play here in the third quarter.
He moves without the ball so well, too, which is another hard thing to teach as well.
59-20, Lorain High with a huge lead 2 minutes into the third quarter here at the Titan Gym. On the right side, Staley, three ball. That one's too strong. A rebound grab, put back up and in. I don't think they're going to count the bucket. But the rebound done well by Seth Staley. Foul on Lorain called on Davier Andrews. Well, that will be his second.
You talk about how special Lorain is. I mean, Steve Gray, the head coach of Norwalk, put them in the same category as St. Ed's and St. V's. I would say that's pretty good. That's elite company, Tim, that you get into.
In the lane, Breck Turner throws it out front to Matt Davidson. Travis Kring now in the game for Norwalk. Travis seeing his first action, 6'1 junior. Seth Staley, 5'9 senior, at the base of the center circle. Here in the second half, Norwalk going left to right. They're heading towards the lobby area. The concession area down to our right.
Now Lorain in the zone.
Turner in the left corner traveled with the basketball. And again, that's just the size and length of Lorain. Just charging at him, and he shuffled his feet.
Well, like I said, and I keep using the same term over and over again, it makes you speed up. It makes you do things a half second quicker that you normally wouldn't do, hence you get to travel.
Timeout, Lorain High, 30-second timeout. We mentioned that earlier today, Olmsted Falls was over at Walsh. We had Chris Delicio on our show this morning, and Olmsted Falls beat Maple Heights 70-55. Elyria is at North Royalton tonight. That game was supposed to be played last night. We don't have a score on that one. We do have a score on Open Door and Max Hayes at the half. Open Door leading Max Hayes 42-25. By the way, the last few years, you were working with Joe Lynch over at Strongsville.
Yeah, Darren
Joe
Collins
now with Kevin Sapara at Avon this year.
Yes, he is. He is, and I'm glad for him. I'm glad that Coach has been he's a great guy. Did a lot of great things at Strongsville, and the opportunity I had to coach at Strongsville has a lot to do with him, and I'm very happy for him. I actually saw him before Christmas, so he's enjoying, you know what, when you move down one spot on the bench, all the success he's had, he's enjoying kind of being back to the grassroots of basketball.
Davier Andrews, one of the lane, bank shot, no, tip, no. Bohannon goes up, hooked it up, nope, rebound, Devon powered it home with the right hand. Devon Andrews with a dunk off a miss, makes it 61-20. And at the other end, Norwalk simply turns it over as Breck Turner had a pass skip by him out of bounds. Here comes Anthony Smothers and Kevin Davis back into the action for Lorain High as Eddie Williamson and Rashad Berry take a seat. Eddie Williamson and Rashad Berry were a very special combo on the football field for Lorain High this year as Eddie was the quarterback. Rashad caught a lot of big passes. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Rashad on his way to Ohio State to play for Urban Meyer. There's Devon Andrews under the hoop, powered it in. Devon Andrews, he's got 17 in the ball game, 10 here in the third quarter. Makes it 63-20. 4.5 minutes to go here in the third. Breck Turner on the near sideline double team. And Larry Reardon has a foul call. It's on it's on Lorain High's Anthony Smothers. That'll be his second.
Well, again, Lorain here going to work out a little bit on, and this gives them an opportunity to kind of work on some things as well. And so they're going to play a zone, kind of almost like a 1-2-2 a little bit.
Norwalk with the basketball, trailing 63-20. And Steve Gray mentioned in the pregame he knew his team was in for a tough night tonight, and that has proven to be the case. Kring with a shot that's off the mark. Rebound grab by Anthony Smothers for Lorain. They shove it ahead to Davier Andrews, off on the right wing to Jamar Ross. Down in the corner to Bohannon, back to Ross, top of the key to Davis, left side Davier. 3-ball, in and out, rebound Bohannon, left of the lane, left-handed shot. He rolled it in.
That's the guy. Every team needs a guy like that. The other, you know what, Tim, you watch Lorain, very rarely do they dribble. Very rarely do they dribble on offense, and when they do, we said this in the first half, they actually go somewhere with it. Instead of just pounding the ball, they move it, drive into the lane, and find a guy. What that does is it gets your other guys involved and then gets the defense out of position, get an offensive rebound.
3-ball from the left wing, off the mark by Norwalk. Out of there with it comes Lorain. Bohannon heads to the other end, drives and scores. Naz Bohannon with a 20-point ball game, 67-20. Lorain High having a huge night here at home tonight. Out front for Norwalk, Seth Staley. Off on the left side to Jacob Troutman. They give it on the right wing to Blaine Bliley. Back in the corner to Troutman. Right of the lane to Turner. Out front to Staley. Back to Turner. Throws it down low to Kring. Put it up. No good. Rebound grabbed by Lorain. Here come the Titans. Davier Andrews on the left wing. Cross court right side. Bohannon. The jumper. Short. Rebound. Grab. And a whistle and a foul, as a couple of guys ended up out of bounds underneath the hoop.
Yeah, you had both going at the ball right there. Seth Staley got tied up with, it looked like Jamar Ross.
Staley picked up that foul. That's his first. Here comes Shane Smith in the ball game now for Lorain High. Also checking in Jaleel Little. So Little enters the contest. Little still looking for his first points this season. Hasn't scored at the varsity level. Davis on the right side. Pops it out front to Little. Around on the left wing to Jamar Ross. Ross to Davis. Back on the right side. 3-ball. Way short offensive rebound. No, but Little fouled. Well, here we go. Little heads to the free throw line. And an opportunity to score his first varsity points of the campaign, as it was Matt Davidson that picked up the foul for Norwalk.
Good call. Got him into the foul line.
Try to help out any way
right.
I can.
I see that.
So here's Little. Line left. First one up and in. And that's his first varsity point for the 2014-15 season. In fact, that was his first free throw. He hadn't scored. He hadn't been to the line. Well, he's got it all going on here on this trip.
He just got hit with the ball, too.
Well, he's not used to being there.
He's not.
You got to look out for that ball coming at you.
Got to know he gets a second one.
Line left. Second one up. In and out. Rebound grab by Norwalk's Brandon Kofstein. 68-20. Norwalk with the basketball. 2.5 minutes to go here in the third. In the lane, short shot up and in by J.C. Jordan. J.C. makes it 68-22. Here comes Lorain at the other end. Ross on the right sideline. Gives it to Little. Right back to Ross. 3-ball right there.
Man, I tell you, he's got a terrific shot.
He's got 3 threes tonight.
That's his job, Tim. Come off the bench, spot up. They've got so many guys inside. Spot up. When you're open, knock it down.
Pretty simple, isn't it?
Simple enough, yeah.
In the lane, shot by Jordan, spun out on him. Rebound loose, out of there with it, Davis. Davis for Lorain High, heads to the forecourt. Right side, Ross, out front to Davis. Davis kicks it on the left wing to Little, drops it in the corner to Shane Smith. Back to Ross, right side, Davis, his three, right there. Boy, it's all going right for Lorain tonight. My goodness.
But again, the ball movement.
Yep.
Move the ball, 4 or 5 passes, find the open guy.
74-22. Under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter of play. NFL final. Boy, New England in a great game beat Baltimore 35-31. The Patriots are in the AFC Championship game. And they will host it. Down low, ball knocked out of bounds as Kofstein tried to throw it out front to Davidson.
Yeah, I know Norwalk's having a tough game, but I really like Seth Staley, their guard they have out there, and plays heady. Make sure his guys, he's always communicating with his guys, and as a lead guard, that's what you want. Make sure all his guys are in the right spot. And again, I know they're having a rough night, but It's a guy that you like to have on your team because he gets everybody organized, and they talk about the point guard as an extension of your coach, and you can tell that. He just makes sure everyone's in the right spot all the time.
On the left side, Matt Davidson gave it to Staley. Down in the corner, Hicks got his shot blocked. Ball loose on the floor. Out of there with it for Lorain High, Jaleel Little. Ahead on the left side to Smith. Top side to Davis. Right wing, Ross. Three right there, Jamar Ross. He's got 4 threes in the game.
But again, you find the guy. Move the ball. Find an open man. He's wide open.
Lorain's last 9 points from beyond the arc.
It sounds easy, Tim, but it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in high school. You don't have the unselfishness where you move the basketball to find an open guy. They do. That's what makes them so tough.
77-22.
They've passed up 2 or 3 shots the last couple times down the floor to get a better one.
Norwalk killing some clock right here as we're down to 8 seconds to go. Hicks in the corner, double team, got it down low, turnaround shot rolls in for J.C. Jordan. 77-24. Half-court shot off the glass, no, by Kevin Davis.
Figured that was going to go in.
77-24. Lorain with a 53-point lead as we go to the fourth on the Colson & Colson cage matchup on WEOL and online at WEOL.com. We welcome you back to Lorain. Fourth quarter starts with Naz Bohannon, Ryan Kilbane's favorite player, with a resounding block shot out of bounds.
He does everything when you have a team like this. He's the anchor of their defense. But when you watch him, he defends and then he runs the floor. And the other thing is they give him the ball. I mean, look, he sprints down the floor. Amazing. I know it's so understated, but...
And again, he's only a sophomore. I mean, Naz is a pretty special player. Bohannon on the right wing, inside the three-point arc, top side to Williamson, tried to throw it down low, ball deflected out of there with it. Breck Turner for Norwalk. 77-24. We start the fourth quarter, and Norwalk with a turnover, although Lorain turns it right back. Turner heads to the other end. Ball knocked out of his hands. Turner got it back, shovels it underneath. Hicks with a shot that's too strong off the glass. Out of there with it, Rashad Berry. Got it to Devon Andrews. Out front to Eddie Williamson. Williamson just waits for everybody to get established. Bounces on the right side to Davier Andrews. In the lane to Bohannon. Powered it up. Rolled it in. Naz having a night. It's 79-24. Bohannon with 22.
Moves the ball so well. Block to block. Catches the ball. Keeps it high. Goes right to the backboard.
On the left wing, Davidson comes around a pick. Feeds it out front to J.C. Jordan. What of the lane? Bank shot good.
Good move.
J.C. makes it 79-26.
He's a good player, too. Very good player.
Yeah, J.C.'s got 9 tonight. For Norwalk, only 3 guys have scored. Davier Andrews on the baseline to Devon Andrews. Top side, Eddie Williamson. 3-ball, way off the mark. Rebound grab by J.C. Jordan, but he stepped on that end line. And for Norwalk, that's going to get Jacob Troutman back in the ball game.
Yeah, if you're going to play Lorain, and some of these better teams are going to play him throughout the year, when you're on the defensive end of the floor, you're going to have to try to be physical with them. These guys cut and pass the ball too well.
Alley-oop, but Perry missed the slam. Boy, they ran it beautifully, but Rashad couldn't hammer it home.
But defensively, you're going to have to step in the lanes, bump guys away, not allow cutters to cut. I mean, they cut too freely right now. That's their whole offense. They do it so well. You're going to have to be physical with them.
In the lane, J.C. Jordan fires left side to Turner. Turner at the three-point arc, lobs it out front to Matt Davidson. In between the circles to Troutman. Here comes Jacob Troutman, bounce top of the key to J.C. Jordan. Jordan left wing Turner, his jumper short, long rebound right back to Turner. Turner outside the three-point arc, fires it out front to Davidson. 5.5 minutes to go. Lorain High cruising along, and there's a steal. Heading to the other end, Davier Andrews up, nobody got fouled.
Now that being said, good luck, whoever wants to do that. That's why I enjoy being up here and not having to come up with a game plan to try to play a team like that. My whole point is they cut and move so well that you can't allow them in the half court to be able to cut and go wherever they want to go. You've got to try to do something a little bit different.
Davier Andrews shooting too. I guess that raises the question. I'm sure there are coaches here tonight. You're scouting this Lorain team. What do you walk out of here thinking as Davier hits the first?
Good luck would probably be the first thing. I would say.
I mean, there really doesn't appear to be a weak link right now.
There is not a weak link. If you're able, now I want to see them play a team that can handle a press. A team that can handle the basketball. That would be something, and then you'd have to look at their schedule and see the teams that they're playing. But they shoot it too well. If they're going to knock threes down, I don't know where you go. If I were to coach against them, I would say you crowd the lane, you force them to hit jump shots and beat from the outside. But would they hit 6 or 7 threes tonight? So there's your problem.
Right. Pick your poison.
That's exactly right. You got to pick something.
Turner, left wing, his shot up, no good. Rebound grab by Smothers for Lorain High. Shovels it to Jaleel Little, left side Davier. Alley-oop, Smothers, he missed the dunk. Loose ball though, grab shot, put up no good. Rebound, tipped up, no good. And out of there with it comes Turner for Norwalk.
Any team that plays them will have to be able to handle pressure. If you can't do it, you won't be able to beat them. If you can, you'll be in the game.
Out front, ball knocked away from Norwalk. Down the floor, Smothers had it knocked out of his hands, but the foul is called on Bliley.
But again, if you're sitting there with a scouting report and you're at the game tonight, you have to write 6 or 7 names down. And that's because the style that they play. You can't say, well, if we stop Devon Andrews and Naz Bohannon, we'll give ourselves a chance to win. But you can't, because then you have guys that come off the bench that knock threes down. And you have other guys that do a little bit of everything. So, yeah, that would help. But they're so balanced and they're so deep that it's awfully difficult to pick 1 or 2 guys to try to slow down.
Anthony Smothers at the line, hits the first. 6'7" junior, so he'll be around. 6.5 points, over 4 rebounds per game. He's got 5 tonight as he hits the first free throw to make it 81-26. Now again, if you're enjoying this one on the radio in Lorain, it'll be up on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools television in short order. Joe Bach telling us during the break that TV 20's Facebook page is basically exploding, their Twitter account, as they follow this very special boys basketball team here at Lorain High. They are good. Turner left of the lane. The runner rolled around the rim and out. Rebound grab by the Titans. 4:18 to go. Charles Pierre Lewis, seeing his first action tonight, is in the ball game. Feeds it to Davis. Left wing to Jamar Ross. Ross gave it right back to Davis, who tosses it to Ross at the top of the circle. Ross in the middle to Davis. Left wing, Jaleel Little. Little off to Ross, back on the right side to Davis. Davis bounce at the free throw line to Jaleel Little, and he works it behind him to Davis, and Lorain will recycle the offense. Davis in between the circles to Jamar Ross, rest right side to Little, back out front to Davis, off on the right side to Lewis. Shoves it to Davis, left wing to Ross, down on the baseline to Smothers, right back to Ross, tried to force it down low, pass intercepted by Norwalk's Travis Kring. Here come the Truckers. It has been a long night for them. They trail it 82-26. Pass down low, deflected. It goes out of bounds, and it went off Norwalk's Turner.
I think Tim Norwalk had the right idea. You want to slow the game down, minimize possessions. I think Coach Gray had the right formula. They weren't able to execute it. A team that could execute that certainly could give Lorain a game. But in order to do that, you're going to need guards that are going to be able to handle the ball, handle pressure, and then be able to run the sets they want to run. Lorain speeds you up. We've talked about it all game. They speed you up. You have to find guys disciplined, not able to do that.
There's another 3-ball by Ross. Jamar Ross with 15 points tonight, all from beyond the arc. 5 3-balls.
Well, again, you talk about the scouting report. Okay, let's write down some names. Oh, by the way, number 10's hit 5 threes, and he doesn't start. So I don't know, where do you put him in on the list?
Ross had 10 threes coming into tonight, so he's at 50% of his season total here in 3+ quarters against Norwalk.
But again, they find him. I mean, the court awareness and the basketball IQ for Lorain is startling so high it is. You don't see this in a lot of high school teams. Here's a guy that's knocked down 5 threes, but they're going to find him. There's a lot of times you go to games, guys hit 2 or 3 threes, and they never get the ball again.
Right. 85-26, Norwalk with the basketball. On the left side, Troutman. Troutman hands it off to Seth Staley. Down the right side to Davidson. Matt Davidson back out front to Troutman. Troutman with 2.5 minutes to go. Feeds on the left side to Staley. Staley will shoot a 3. That one's short. Rebound ricochets around. Out of there with it. Troutman shoots and hits. Jacob Troutman, his first 2. Makes it 85-28. So Lorain last night with 88 points. Tonight they're sitting at 85 with just over 2 minutes to go.
Well, if you're going to beat them, you've got to hold them to, I would say, at least 70. I know it's hard. That's, easier said than done. They score in the 80s, you won't beat them. Plain and simple, you're not going to beat them. So you've got to come in with a certain goal, maybe 70 or less, which is going to be awfully tough.
Seth Staley gives it out front to Kofstein. Right back to Staley. They throw it down low. Shot off the glass, no good for Kring, but he got fouled. So Kring will shoot 2 with 1:46 to go. That foul was on Charles Pierre Lewis. That is his second foul.
The way Lorain moves the ball, we were talking about Jamir Ross has hit 5 threes and they're finding him. You've coached some players where, someone other than that is open. They'll take a shot. It's maybe not a good shot, but they'll move the ball. And then you ask the kid, well, why I was open? Well, no, you got to get the ball to the guy that's been hot.
Right.
That's hard to do. And again, that starts with the coaches and then the players buying in. Coaches can talk all they want, but if the coaches don't or the players don't buy in, you might as well talk to the wall.
Boy, nice job by Kring as he split the 2 free throws. After missing the second one, he grabbed his own miss, put it back up and in, and he got fouled on that. So Kring right back at the line where he just split a pair. And the free throw is up and in. Good job by Kring right there. Makes it 85-32 with 1:38 to go. Charles Pierre Lewis on the right wing for Lorain High. Pierre Lewis with a stutter step. Nice dish to Smothers, but he fumbled the ball. But the loose ball picked up by Jamar Ross. In between the circles to Shane Smith. Top side to Jaleel Little. Little at the base of the center circle. Fires left side to Smith. Smith works top of the key. On the weave to Ross. Gets it down low to Lewis. Up with the left hand. No good. Rebound grab by Kring for Norwalk. Just over a minute to go. 85-32 Titans. Well, they're going to go to 11-0 at the halfway point of this season. Norwalk will drop to 5-3. We're under a minute to go in the ball game. Norwalk with a turnover. Out of there with it comes Shane Smith. Smith had his pass deflected high in the air. Norwalk gets it back. So the Truckers will get back into Northern Ohio League action. 3-ball too strong by Seth Staley. And again, Lorain will head back to Lake Erie League action with Warrensville next Friday night. Lorain with the ball, and we're down to 30 seconds to go. And I think John Rossitano is simply going to have the Titans spread it out and kill the final seconds off the clock. A very impressive performance indeed by Lorain High tonight. There have been numerous impressive performances by this Titan team, and tonight is certainly no exception. They're going to walk out of here with an 85-32 win over the Norwalk Truckers. 11-0 for Lorain High. Norwalk 5-3. Buzzer sounds. That ends it. We'll be back We'll wrap it all up on our postgame show following this timeout on the Colson & Colson cage matchup on WEOL and on the web at WEOL.com.
Veterans benefits earned through your service in the National Guard or Reserve can offer a range of support.
I wouldn't be here today as a successful woman without the help that I received.
From home loans to job training, go to benefits.va.gov/Guard Reserve to find out more, even how to apply online using eBenefits.
This is one of the best things I ever did in my life. We were very fortunate to have these benefits, so we definitely ought to use them.
Achieve your next mission. Learn about your VA benefits today.
Well, folks, in case you haven't figured it out, Lorain is an outstanding boys high school basketball team as they put a resounding thumping on Norwalk tonight, 85-32. Lorain goes to 11-0 on the year. Norwalk drops to 5-3. Lorain got off to a great start, and basically they never looked back. Lorain led by 13 at the end of one, 23-10. They then scored the first 12 points of the second quarter to just blow this one wide open. They were up 35-10, ended up leading by 35 points at the half at 51-16, and just coasted home from there as the onslaught continued in the third quarter. Lorain outscoring Norwalk in that third quarter 77-24. It was an 8-8 fourth quarter as both teams basically got everybody in and let them play out there. The final 8 minutes came off that clock pretty quickly. Lorain High wins it 85-32, looking incredibly impressive in every facet of the game tonight. Lorain now 11-0. As we said, Norwalk drops to 5-3. As far as the individual scoring numbers are concerned, for Norwalk off the bench, Brandon Kofstein did not score. Noah Hicks was scoreless as well. Points off the bench, Jacob Troutman with 2. Travis Kring had a 4-point effort. For Norwalk's starting 5, Matt Davidson and Seth Staley did not score. Brandon Bliley with a 7-point effort tonight. J.C. Jordan with 9. And the only Norwalk trucker in double figures was Breck Turner as he had 10. Norwalk with a total of 32 quarters of 10, 6, 8, and 8 for the truckers. For the Lorain Titans, boy, everybody got in on the act. Off the bench, Charles Pierre Lewis was the only player off the bench that didn't score. Jaleel Little had a free throw, his first point of the season. He had 1 point tonight. Kevin Davis finished up with 5. Shane Smith with 6 on 2 3-balls. Anthony Smothers with 6. Jamar Ross came off the bench. Jamar with 15 points off the bench for Lorain, all from beyond the arc. He hit 5 3-balls tonight for the Titans off the bench. Starting 5, Eddie Williamson with 3. Davier Andrews was quiet. He had 4. Rashad Berry with 6. Devon Andrews with 17, 10 of which came in the third quarter of play. It was a huge night for Naz Bohannon. The 6'5 sophomore finished up with a game-high 22 points. 2 buckets in the first. He had 10 second quarter points on 5 field goals, 3 more field goals in the third, 1 more in the fourth. Naz Bohannon, the 10th grader, had his way tonight as he had a game-high 22. For Lorain, a total of 85 quarters of 23, 28, 26, and then 8 in the fourth quarter when they pretty much coasted home. Lorain wins it 85-32 to go to 11-0 on the year. Norwalk now 5-3. Our final timeout, Ryan Kilbane and yours truly, Tim Elkhorn, will wrap it all up from the Titan Gym after this on the Colson & Colson cage matchup on AM 930 WEOL, streaming live on the web at WEOL.com.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
Lorain is now 11-0 on the year with a very impressive 85-32 win over the Norwalk Truckers tonight here at the Titan Gym, and nice enough to stop up and pay us a visit on the postgame show. Lorain High head coach John Rossitano. John, you're 11-0. I'm sure you like every win, but I was incredibly impressed by your basketball team tonight. Was this the best you saw your team perform?
Well, I mean, we've had some games like this. We shot the ball extremely well, and when you shoot the ball really well, it tends to look better. What I'm happy about is, again, Tim, we talked in the pregame, these kids are doing the right things. They're playing unbelievably hard, unbelievably unselfish, and it's a beautiful thing to watch when you got guys doing the right thing at all times. And I was most proud of, we didn't let up after halftime, which we've tended to do in the past. We call the dogs off a little bit, but they continue to play the right way. And that, to me, is impressive, and that's how you grow as a team.
No, there isn't anybody that can walk out of this gym tonight saying Lorain ran up the score.
No.
Your kids just played hard, and they got after it, and they moved the ball incredibly well.
We called off about 4 minutes in the third, which is basically the rule of thumb, but we told them, we're still playing hard. Whoever play hard. And the guys are doing that. And again, you can see like a little swagger to them, a little sense of confidence. And I think they're embracing that. And it is. It's fun to coach. And I'm sure as a fan, it's probably fun to watch.
John, I jokingly said during the broadcast, as a play-by-play guy, it is tough to keep up with that ball movement. It is going so quickly and so accurately. I don't know who's working with this team on the offensive end, but the ball movement is just exquisite at times.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And I tell you what started is over the summer is we me and Mitch Gillum spent a lot of time with these guys this summer, getting the ball moving, hitting the open man, ball movement, ball energy type stuff, and it's definitely paying off.
Ryan?
Coach, first of all, congratulations.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about during the game is from your starters to your guys on the bench, everyone seems to know their role.
Yeah.
Talk about, not only is it you guys as a coaching staff teaching that, but the players have to buy in. Talk about that process where everyone kind of understands where they're supposed to be and their role they're supposed to have.
That's a really good question. We got guys that aren't allowed to dribble. We got guys that aren't allowed to shoot outside 4 or 5 feet. And if they do, they know they're coming out of the game. So they want to play, so they do what they're supposed to do. And that's part of, we have the term they sacrifice for the betterment of the team. You do what you do best, let guys what they do best, and, it just makes it a team rather than individuals. And, we have restrictions and rules on guys, and they follow them because they want to play. Or if they don't, they're not playing. So it really is as simple as that.
Coach, you got a lot of star quality on this team, but to me, a star in the making, Naz Bohannon. This kid's only a sophomore. You were kind of laughing during our pregame conversation. He busts his nose last night at North Olmsted. Blood's gushing out everywhere. And then he simply puts the mask on tonight and comes out and is a dominant force with 22 points and Lord knows how many rebounds.
He's a monster. Guys tend to focus on the Andrews, the Berries, and he's a matchup nightmare for everybody, and they just can't control him. And he's just a high-energy monster around the basket. And he's going to keep getting better and better. And, it's fun to watch him play.
Coach, one thing I wanted to ask you is, as you move forward now at 11-0, how do you keep your team focused on the next game and not have them look, they're high school kids, so they have a tendency, they're around their friends and they start talking. How do you keep them focused on just kind of the next game type mentality?
Well, I think these kids are grounded in the sense that they know that every game's important, and we have started every game with a really, really good approach, and I can't see that stopping because they practice really hard, and they love to play basketball. And when you love to play the game, you just play hard, and that's what they do. And there's nothing else that I expect anymore.
Well, Coach, 11-0, that's the exact halfway point of the season. Now, I know you're in the classroom. It's time to hand out the midterm. What do you give this team as a midterm?
Well, Tim, it's a long way. I'm just happy that the guys are competing at it. They're competing at an elite level, and that's what we call it. And I'll give the effort at the mid-season point A+.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of A-plus that we're seeing out there, but you're the coach. You're with them every day. But, hey, an amazing first half of the year for the Titans. Great performance tonight. Congratulations. This team is indeed fun to watch. But as Ryan said, a lot of that comes back to coaching, my friend.
Yeah, we're happy with what's going on so far, Tim. I appreciate you guys coming out.
Thanks. Appreciate it, John.
Thank you, Coach.
John Rossitano joining us here on the post-game show. 85-32. Lorain with a very impressive win, another one, and here in the 2014-15 season. All right, Ryan, about a minute before we wrap it up. Final thoughts.
For me, it's very simple, and Coach just talked about it. The way the team buys in, they understand the rules that they have to play by. They understand what roles they have, and from the coaches being able to teach it, it's a credit to the players who have bought in. That makes them 11-0. Without that, they wouldn't be 11-0. Yeah, they've got talent. Yeah, they're athletic. Yeah, they're long. They can shoot the ball. They can attack the basket. But if you don't have a buy-in where everyone can play their own role, you can't do much with that if you don't have that. And because of that, that makes them 11-0. It's impressive. We've used that word a lot, impressive. It is impressive to watch.
It surely is. They were impressive tonight, 85-32 over the Norwalk Truckers here at the Titan Gym. This was a blast.
It was.
It wasn't the greatest game, but it was fun to work with you, my friend.
No, it was fun. I was, again, I'm going to use that word impressed because I was impressed by Lorain. If you're a high school fan, a coach, or a player, you should come watch them play. This is how high school basketball players should play and how they're coached to play. I was blown away by the way they play as a team. That's basketball. It's not one or two guys. It's a group. And when a group plays well, this is what you get.
And again, the big redhead that was just with us, John Rossitano, and his staff deserve a tremendous amount of credit. All right, that's going to do it. Again,
thank you, Tim.
Oh, it was a blast.
Good time.
Thanks to Ryan Kilbane. Of course, Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20. Thanks for tying into our audio. Dancing Danny Perrick back in the studios. Great job. On-site engineer Jared Kozar. Great job by him as well. I'll be back with you again on a Wednesday. Girls basketball. I've got it on WEOL. I'll bring you Keystone at Clearview in girls basketball on Wednesday night. So until then, this is Tim Elkhorn saying thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Lorain with a resounding 85-32 win over Norwalk. And again, if you're in Lorain, you can watch it pretty quickly on WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. So until we talk again on Wednesday from Clearview, Tim Elkhorn saying thank you much for listening. And from the Titan Gym, so long, everybody.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.